You're watching Transformers of Eternia, and on this video, I'm going to be talking about Transformers Legacy Blitzwing. Okay, I recently got Transformers Legacy Blitzwing. I got them for like $35 at a Target on sale. I think it's for like the holidays type of special. I would not have gotten him otherwise, because he's basically a Voyager. And a Voyager figure should not be $50 with some extra bright red plastic fists, like Hulk hands. I don't understand what these things are. They're like cannons or whatever. Anyway, they're just kind of a joke. So I immediately, upon opening the box, I took those away and put them into safekeeping, because they will never, ever be out with this figure ever again. But that being said, he comes with a sword and 2 guns, which are cool. Those are fitting weapons, and I think that they're actually G1 weapons that he had. And looking at the character, he, in robot form, embodies Blitzwing. And he does not embody the one from the Bumblebee movie, which was a Starscream mistake that whoops, we better call him Blitzwing, because that can't be Starscream. But anyway, that joke aside, yeah, he's definitely Blitzwing. He feels like Blitzwing. He's cool. He looks cool in robot form. I got nothing but praises for him in robot form. But in jet form, everybody that I've ever seen on the internet basically talking about this character is just not happy with this jet form. I mean, with all of the clutter underneath the wings on this thing, I mean, this stuff everywhere. The tank treads are down there. Now, I understand the G1 Blitzwing did have a lot of stuff going on just similar to this. But even that, I don't think, was as bulky as this stuff down underneath the wings on this thing. The whole back half of this jet just looks like crap underneath the wings. I mean, the top half looks fine. It looks like Blitzwing. But once you get into the tank stuff just hanging off in the back, it just drives me nuts. And another thing that I would want to mention about this is there's just so much going on. I understand it's a triple changer, but it's just not very fun to transform. I'll tell you that. It's just, I don't know. I have the Titans Return Blitzwing as well, and that Blitzwing is a lot easier to transform. Kind of feels more like Blitzwing. I mean, I'm not a fan of the stickers and all that stuff, but I mean, he feels like Blitzwing. He's taller. I mean, he's not a headmaster originally, so that's kind of weird that they made him a headmaster, but whatever. But anyway, that figure is not horrible, but then again, when I look at him on my shelf, the shoulders on the Titans Return Blitzwing are just not Blitzwing. They just don't feel bulky like Blitzwing. So they kind of don't fit for that character in a lot of ways. I mean, that character does look a lot like Blitzwing in some regards. He's not horrible, but he's just not, he's not exactly Blitzwing in a lot of ways as well. Because, I mean, first off, the G1 Blitzwing had a silver face, and the one that I got has like a purple face for the Titans Return one. And that's just not whatever. But there's some colors that don't match and colors that aren't right or whatever, because I don't know if they're going for a G1, precise G1 version. But the Legacy version is going for a G1 version. You could tell. They're really trying, but they didn't try hard enough when it comes to the jet. That's all I have to say. Now, the tank version, a lot of people say, well, the cockpit for the jet is sticking out the front of the tank. Well, if you kind of go by what he looked like as the toy version did have that cockpit right in the front of the tank mode. So they're really sticking to the toy version, I guess, on that. So I can kind of see why they got that like that. They could have figured out a way to just have a cover. I mean, a lot of these Transformers nowadays, they like to have like parts forming going on. So they usually like I don't know, Warpath, he had that thing that covered the front of the tank to make it look like a tank. Otherwise, it'd be like a H tank. Well, they could have done something similar with Blitzwing, where they would have had another little piece of plastic just kind of covering over that cockpit in the front of the tank. But that's just a small gripe, really, for the tank mode, because I understand that that's how he looked. I think he looked like that in the cartoon too. I don't remember, but yeah. So Blitzwing does look closer to the cartoon than any of the other ones, from what I could see. I mean, other than that other one with the Generations one or whatever, which was kind of doing a little bit of the animated Transformers type of thing, which is kind of cool with the faces changing and everything. I wouldn't have minded having that option with this one, but I don't know how they would do that with the head. I don't know. That would have costed probably $75 after that was done, maybe. I don't know. Because the price of these things, they just keep going up. But yeah, this character, I just love how he looks in robot form. I mean, that's how he's pretty much going to stay on my shelf, obviously. So I'm not really offended so badly by the jet form. I just kind of wish that the jet form would be a little more accurate to the cartoon and not have so much stuff piled up underneath it that it just looks like crap. But this is not as bad as like the Titans Return, what is it, Broadside or whatever. That was the worst, I think, triple changer that they've ever done. I don't know if there's a worse one than that. I never bought that one because of when I seen the jet form on that, I was like, this is insane that they actually want to do this, where his legs are basically up on the top. I couldn't believe how horrible that looked. But I'm assuming that if they're going to redo all these characters, I'm assuming we're going to get a Broadside soon anyway. I've heard that there's going to be a Sandstorm coming up in 2023, 24, somewhere in there. So that's kind of going to be cool. So I don't know if they're going to... I hope they stick to their guns on that and keep it as G1 as possible. So Sandstorm turns into like a dune buggy thing, and then the helicopter. I hope that they do them right, because they did a good job on Springer. And hey, here's something to think about. Springer was a triple changer, had a lot of stuff with him, swords, everything, and he was a Voyager. They didn't charge $50 for him. Why is it that he got away with it, but all the other deluxe or all the other Voyager triple changers after that, $50? So that's a strange predicament they got themselves into with that, because they even put extra paint on Springer to make him look like he's battle worn. I mean, and with all that, they had extra paint on him. They had extra weapons with him. That they had a lot of stuff that came with him. He's great and everything, but I'm just like, you could do all that for $30 or $30, whatever they call the Voyager price anyway. And Blitzwing comes with made up Hulk hands that are red fingers and all this, and we don't really need that. And then we got to pay $50 for him. I mean, Astral Train, he had to come with extra parts, and they still didn't do his shuttle mode properly. It just looks weird when in the back by the back fin. I still don't know why I have to order a third-party piece to fill in that gap there, but okay. But we had to pay $50 for him. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. So that's just my gripe on that. I mean, Shockwave, I still can't believe that we didn't get more of a cartoon version of Shockwave yet. But I don't think they're going to turn him into the gun. But we've had to pay, what was it, $50 for him too? Because he came with all these parts. But, I mean, Shockwave, he's a great figure. But I think that $50, I think he could have been easily a $30 figure, a Voyager $30 figure, and just not had all the extra garbage that turns into like I don't know. They could have had him turn into a vehicle without parts forming, all that stuff. But because they didn't know what to do with him, because he turns into a laser gun, like a not even a realistic Earth like weapon, they didn't know what to do with him. So they're like, well, we got to turn him into a submarine, or whatever they call, whenever they say a gun or whatever they say, turn it upside down. It's a submarine. It's not a gun. But anyway, it's just a joke. They could have done him for $30. But I'm not here to talk about all these things. I just wanted to give my thoughts on Blitzwing for Transformers Legacy. And I'm glad I got them, and I'm glad I only had to pay like $35 on sale at Target. I would say do that if you can. If you can get them on sale, definitely do that, because it's way more worth it. You feel much better when you get home a $35 figure that they say is $50, but has parts you don't want in the case. Yeah, you feel much better about that than when you pay $50 and you get it home and it turns into a jet that's not functional as a jet. And he looks good in robot form, and in tank he's okay too, but that jet, man, I'm telling you, it's not as bad as Broadside, but boy, that jet really doesn't look good. But that's pretty much all I have to say about him. I just want to do a quick review of it. I understand many people have already done reviews and thoughts on these things, but that's my take on Blitzwing, and I'm just doing this because I felt like it. So hopefully you got one and you enjoy yours and everything, because I definitely love how he looks. He looks cool in robot form, and I'm definitely glad I got him. But that's pretty much it. Like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for watching.